friends, I welcome all viewers of the Freedom TV channel. This is our time. The top news from Ukraine and around the world at this hour. Layla Mammadova is here in the studio for you. At least 4 people have been killed and 14 injured as a result of a Russian strike on Kyiv. The armed forces of the Russian Federation attacked the Ukrainian capital with drones and missiles. There have been hits in 5 districts of the capital. In the Solomiansky district, a 5-story building was partially destroyed. There, the body of a 12-year-old girl was recovered from the rubble. 3 people were rescued. The building of the Institute of Cardiology was also damaged. In the Holosivsky district, a private house was hit. Its roof and wall collapsed. In the Darnitsky district, in Darnitsia, a children's educational institution was damaged. In the Dniprovsky district, parked cars caught fire. And in the Svyadoshchinsky district, debris fell onto an open area. Emergency services are still working at the sites. As soon as we have updated information, we will share it with you live on our broadcast. In one of the districts of Kyiv affected by the massive Russian attack, our correspondent Andriy Dmytrenko is on the scene. Right now, he is on the grounds of the Decisive Institute of Cardiology. Andriy, greetings to you. Tell us, what is known at this hour?
Hello, Layla. Yes, right now I am at the site of the actual strike. This is the Institute of Cardiology in Kyiv. This is one of the leading medical institutions in the city in general. It specializes in treating heart diseases. In the morning, a Russian drone hit, let's say, the rear of this building, damaging the 3rd through 5th floors. Let's listen to what the local authorities are saying in more detail about this. Right now, the clinic's management together with the city leadership are deciding what the fate of this building will be. Right now, it's operating, you could say, in emergency mode. That is, they're not admitting new patients, but they're not discharging the current ones either. The most urgent issues have already been dealt with, meaning the fire and falling debris. Now they're deciding on more long-term matters, like repairing equipment and relocating patients. Most of those who witnessed this attack have already been evacuated to a nearby medical facility. And unfortunately, this is just one of the consequences of today's shelling of Kyiv. We will keep you updated about it in more detail on the Freedom Channel. Back to the studio.
Andrei, thank you so much. Thank you for the information about what's currently happening at the Institute of Cardiology, where today we are witnessing the aftermath of a combined missile attack by the Russian Federation. Andrei, we'll see you as soon as there's updated information. I'll be waiting for you live on the Freedom TV channel. Let me remind our viewers that Andriy Dmytrenko was with us on the line. And let me remind you, as a result of the Russian attack, the Institute of Cardiology was affected, where help is provided to Ukrainians, people with the most serious heart conditions. Not only to residents of the capital, but to people from all regions of Ukraine. Explosions were also heard in the Kyiv region. The number of injured has risen to 31. Among them are 3 children. 4 people have been hospitalized in moderate condition. The Bucha, Fastiv, Obukiv, Borisville, and Bielets-Serkva districts came under fire. One of the strikes hit a residential complex in Petropavlovska-Borshchehivka near Kyiv. In the Fastiv district, 5 employees of a bread factory were injured. A fire broke out on the premises of the enterprise. It has already been extinguished. In Bielets-Serkva, the roof of a 9-story building caught fire. The fire has also already been put out. There were injuries from cuts, fractures, concussions, and carbon monoxide poisoning. As a result of the morning attack by the Russian Federation's army on Zaporizhzhia, the number of injured has risen to 31, including 3 children. 2 boys, aged 11 and 12, and a 9-year-old girl have been hospitalized. Their conditions are described as serious and moderate. The Russian army began attacking the city at midnight. First, Zaporizhzhia was shelled with multiple rocket launchers. At least 8 strikes were recorded in different parts of the city. And around 5 a.m., presumably with Caliber missiles, one of the missiles hit a 9-story apartment building. A fire broke out there, and apartments from the 1st to the 9th floor in one entrance were burned. The aftermath of this attack is still being dealt with. The balcony was completely blown out. The balcony was completely blown out. The balcony on this side, too. All the windows were blown out. Of the children, only the oldest was injured. Her arm was badly cut, and the younger ones were in the hallway. That night, Russia also attacked Sumy. A drone hit a parking lot. Trucks with semi-trailers caught fire. The fire spread quickly, but it was already managed to be put out. Because of the threat of repeated strikes, rescuers had to periodically stop their work. No reports of casualties have been received. The Odessa region was also hit by Russian drones that night. Fortunately, there were no deaths or injuries there. But as a result of the attack, civilian infrastructure was damaged. A workshop and a finished goods warehouse at a winery were destroyed. According to the Regional Military Administration, a shift of 50 workers at the facility was evacuated. A private house was also damaged by the shelling. The roof and windows were damaged. Efforts to eliminate the aftermath of the drone strike are still ongoing at the sites. The massive attack by the Russian Federation on Ukraine lasted more than 12 hours. This was reported by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. According to him, Russia last night and this morning used nearly 500 attack drones and more than 40 missiles, including Kinzhal missiles. The head of the Ukrainian state emphasized this attack. Moscow orchestrated this at the end of the UN General Assembly week, and in this way, demonstrated its true position.
Moscow wants to keep fighting, keep killing, and deserves only the harshest pressure from the world. The Kremlin benefits from continuing this war in terror as long as it has energy revenues and its shadow fleet operates. We will continue to carry out retaliatory strikes to deprive Russia of these opportunities to earn money and to force it to diplomacy. Everyone who wants peace should support President Trump's efforts and stop all Russian imports. The time for decisive action has long since come, and we are counting on a strong response from the US, Europe, the G7, and the G20. Volodymyr Zelensky, President of Ukraine, on Telegram.
Today's attack was one of the largest this year. The Russian Federation launched 643 aerial targets at Ukraine. The defenders of Ukraine's skies neutralized 566 drones, 2 jet-powered drones, 8 Caliber cruise missiles, and 35 Kh-101 cruise missiles. This was reported by the Air Force of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Strikes were recorded at 16 locations. Falling debris at And now to another important topic of the day. Parliamentary elections are ongoing in Moldova and abroad for the country's citizens. For the first time, voting by mail is available in 10 countries. These are the USA, Canada, Sweden, Finland, Iceland, Norway, Japan, the Republic of Korea, Australia, and New Zealand. 2,593 Moldovan citizens took advantage of this opportunity by registering on the Central Election Commission's website. And now our correspondent Valeria Nikolova will tell us how voting is going directly in Chisinau. Let me remind you, Valeria is working in the capital of Moldova. Leila, it's good to see you. We saw each other early this morning, and now I'm glad to see you again. As I understand it, for several hours now, residents of Moldova and the diaspora have been able to vote and choose the direction of their country. I'm ready to hand it over to you. Please tell us all the important details at this moment.
Good afternoon. Indeed, polling stations open their doors to voters as early as 7 a.m. local time. And voting is still ongoing. Right now, we're also standing near one of the polling stations in the central district of Chisinau. We can't say it's packed here, but at the same time, the booths aren't sitting empty. People are coming in, often with their families, so there's a steady flow of voters. All polling stations will be open until 9 p.m. That's the decision of the Central Election Commission. But as one of the polling station chairpersons told us yesterday, this time can be extended if there are still lines at the polling station by closing time. In total, 1,973 polling stations are open in Moldova, and another 301, by the way, that's a record, are open abroad. And voting is already underway in China, India, the United Arab Emirates, Israel, Turkey, and in many European countries such as France, Germany, Greece, Romania, Ukraine, and Bulgaria. In total, in 41 countries, in addition to, obviously, Moldova. For the current elections, 3,600,000 ballots were printed. 1,000 ballots. That is the total number of voters that all polling stations combined are ready to accommodate. and out of more than 3,865,000. Ballots were distributed to polling stations abroad. In today's parliamentary elections, 14 parties, 4 electoral blocs, and also 4 independent candidates are participating. These include both pro-European and pro-Russian forces. According to Moldovan President Maia Sandu, Chișinău is expecting large-scale Russian attempts to influence the elections today in order to bring so-called friendly forces to power in the country and to derail Moldova's European integration. Let's listen.
My message to Europe was about the danger that Russia poses to all our democracies. Yes, Moldova is a small country. Our democracy is relatively young and still fragile, and things are more difficult for us. But that doesn't mean that other democracies, countries with a longer democratic experience and stronger democratic institutions, are not in danger. I spoke in Brussels about these risks so that everyone would take them seriously and be prepared, because we want to live in a democratic world. Today, democracy in the Republic of Moldova is only in the hands of Moldovans. Only they can save both democracy and peace and the bright future of the Republic of Moldova.
This statement was made by the President of Moldova, Maia Sandu, immediately after she cast her vote in the parliamentary elections. This happened at one of the polling stations in Chișinău, and in fact we were there as well. And it's worth noting that Maia Sandu is one of the leaders of Moldova's pro-European ruling party called Action in Solidarity, PAS. And according to opinion polls conducted during the election campaign, this party is one of the frontrunners. One of the frontrunners in the elections. Sociological centers predicted second place for the pro-Russian coalition, the Patriotic Bloc. Since exit polls are not being conducted today, this is the decision of the Central Election Commission. The results of the elections will remain a mystery until late in the evening. The only thing that is certain is that the elections will be considered valid if the turnout is at least 1/3 of the voters.
Subscribe to The Gaze and stay updated on the most important events, top news from Ukraine and all over the world, in-depth analysis, exclusive reports and interviews, all on hand in our channel. Join our community of viewers and stay tuned.